Good morning, guys, here from Istanbul. We are currently at one of the most beautiful places in the city. It's called Büyük Valide Han. To get up here, you have to pay 50 liras, but if you want to get photography shots, you want to fly your drone, so I ended up paying 100 liras to get up to this beautiful spot that I think it is worth it. This place is located in central Istanbul, but it is a very secret destination. It's completely locked, so you have to pay the person at the front to get in here. It's currently 6:47 in the morning. We've just watched the sunrise from this point right here. And what we're gonna do now is we are going to see the major sites here in Istanbul today. We are going to see the Hagia Sophia, the Blue Mosque, those iconic monuments that are synonymous with Istanbul, and I'm so excited to bring you guys along today. This is how you explore Istanbul in 24 hours. We have made it to Sultanament Square. This is the main central square where you have most of the major sites like the Hagia Sophia, the Blue Mosque, the Basilica, Cistern, but we're gonna go first see which ones are open because they have differing opening times depending on prayers. Ever since the Hagia Sophia became a mosque, they've had to start following those prayer times as well. So let's go see what times we can visit and whether we can do it now, because wow, I'm so excited. This is one of the most majestic buildings. I remember learning about this in school, and I've always dreamed of coming here and seeing the Hagia Sophia with my own eyes. It's truly just such a magnificent opportunity. Okay, we've come inside the Hagia Sophia and it is just magnificent. Let me show you what's inside and then we'll talk about the Hagia Sophia outside, because technically this is a mosque. It's an area of prayer, so we gotta be quiet, but let me just show you why this is the most beautiful structure in the entire world. That is probably one of the most beautiful structures I've seen in my life. The Hagia Sophia was originally built by Justinian I in 537. It was originally a church, but then when it was under Ottoman rule, when Istanbul was under Ottoman rule, this church became a mosque. And you can see that a lot of mosques around Istanbul copy the same architecture style of the Hagia Sophia. After the end of the Ottoman Empire, when Ataturk took over and Turkey became a secular state, the Hagia Sophia was changed into a museum church, and you actually had to pay to enter the Hagia Sophia in the past. But just recently, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan decided to change that policy, and now the Hagia Sophia is a mosque. As you can tell, the Hagia Sophia has a lot of history. It's been a mosque, it's been a church, it's been so many different sites of holy worship, and it's also one of the most spectacular architectural wonders in the world. It's such an honor to visit the Hagia Sophia. It's always been a dream of mine, and being able to realize that dream, to photograph the beautiful walls, the beautiful dome in the Hagia Sophia, it's just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The next stop today is one of the most famous sites here in Istanbul. This is the Hippodrome of Constantinople. So in the past, the Hippodrome used to be this sort of meeting area. Apparently they had horse races or something like that. I'm not sure about that. But there are a lot of interesting artifacts here. So for example, right behind me is this obelisk that was transported from Egypt to Istanbul to help decorate the city of Istanbul. So this is originally an Egyptian artifact that they stole and brought to Istanbul. I mean, this entire area is just an open, like, park sort of area nowadays, where you can see all these major historical sites. But the Hippodrome is just a really nice place to relax. In the past, it was a central core part of Istanbul, but today, it's just a beautiful, nice place to walk around. We've arrived at the next stop in the area. This is something that I'm so excited about, just as excited about as the Hagia Sophia. Welcome to Sultanament Mosque. Not gonna lie, I was a bit disappointed in that mosque. It's not that the mosque was bad, but it was all under construction. Like the outside part, the beautiful like corridor, all under construction. The mosque inside, all under construction. You couldn't even see the dome. If I come back in a few years and they're done restoring the place, we'll give it a second try. All right, let's go to our next stop. We are now at the Hagia Irene, which has been essentially untouched since the 500s AD. So you can see that the structures here are still very, very ancient. You have that real rustic rock face that you can still see. It's really, really quiet here, and you can see just the ancient history that is just steeped into this place. It's really quiet, really beautiful. A lot of it is cut off because they're doing a lot of restoration work, which is completely understandable, but wow, so beautiful. To get in here, you need something called a museum pass, an Istanbul museum pass. You can buy the tickets here as well for 30 liras, but with a museum pass, which is 325 liras, you get access to all the museums in Istanbul. So that's what I bought, and I think that's much more valuable of a deal than going to every single site and buying the ticket. Welcome to Topkapi Palace. This is supposed to be one of the most beautiful Ottoman-style palaces there are, but we have a problem. When we entered the palace, they said no microphones allowed. So if the audio from this clip is terrible, the microphone is no longer in, it's with the security. but when I leave I can get it back. It's just that there's no microphoning inside, but they let a gimbal in, so not sure what that's all about. But let me show you what Topkapi Palace is all about. I have to say I am very impressed with Topkapi Palace. If there's one place you have to visit, it's the mosque inside the palace. We couldn't film inside, but overall all the chambers, all the little rooms are just magnificent. What a beautiful, beautiful place. I think I can safely say without a doubt that that museum, Topkapi Palace, might just be one of the best museums I have ever seen. From the architecture, the Ottoman style architecture and all the buildings, the little kiosks that the sultans would stay in, to all the artifacts, the religious artifacts as well, especially like the keys to the Kaaba, the hairs from the beard of the Prophet Muhammad, they're all in there. I am just shocked by the amount of artifacts that they have. Really, really impressive. If you love history, you have to go visit that, or else you will be missing out big time. This right here, the Basilica Cistern of Istanbul. It's a really long line, but let's go check it out. The Basilica Cistern is an underground area where they have water there in the past. Now you have these traditional pillars that are popping up everywhere. They have lights from the bottom of the pillars to illuminate the place. It's a really quiet, eerie sort of place. I would say that it costs 30 liras, which is a bit on the pricey side, but it is an interesting place to visit. I think it's a very different vibe from the rest of Istanbul. It almost takes you back in time. So yeah, a place you should consider coming to. It's just like a 2-minute walk from the Hagia Sophia, so all in the same central area. Welcome to the Grand Bazaar of Istanbul. This right here is one of the oldest functioning markets in the entire world. It's been operational since 1461, and it's only been closed once because of coronavirus. So now that it's reopened, all the shops are again opening. You can walk through. It is the most massive market I have ever seen. You could easily get lost in here. We're gonna try and explore this place.
To pick up where we failed, but I know better. I know now. You showed me.
Yes, Salt Bay is right here with me. He's doing his thing. Just let him be.
You showed me. With you I'll never ever free. I'll never ever
Grand Bazaar is more of like a touristy area market. They sell more bags and carpets, mostly for tourists, not really for locals. So if you want, you can get a feel of like, you know, the Turkish culture a little bit, but it's not really the most authentic way, I think, of really understanding Turkey. But it is one of the main attractions here in Istanbul, and it's kind of a must-see, so yeah, just give it a try. Now, Istanbul, as you can tell, is a city full of mosques, and today so far we've only explored like 2 mosques. So we have arrived at our next destination in Istanbul. This is Bayasit Mosque. That is probably one of the quietest and one of the most beautiful mosques. There are people going there praying. It's really, really quiet in there. It's huge, it's spacious, and wow, just stunning. There's just no words to describe this sort of architecture, this holy religious site like these. Wow. And these are dotted all across Istanbul wherever you go. So beautiful, just out of this world. I think the drone footage says it all. This is probably one of the most beautiful mosques I think there is in Istanbul, in the whole world. Just really, really gorgeous. All right, we finished one mosque. Let's head to a next mosque. We have made it to the next mosque. Let me officially welcome you to one of the most beautiful mosques here in Istanbul. This is Suleimania Mosque. This right here is Suleimania Mosque. It is one of the biggest mosques in Istanbul. If I'm correct, it's the second biggest mosque in Istanbul, and it is gorgeous. It was built by Suleiman the Magnificent, and he's actually buried at the back. But it was built in the 1500s, and it's been really badly destroyed by fires, but nowadays it's still standing today. The domes are beautiful, and as you know, Suleiman the Magnificent is one of the most important historical figures, and this mosque is a testament to how important he was to Ottoman history. The structure itself, the Dome of the Rock, is referenced by the big dome at this mosque. and it just has so many important symbols to emphasize how important Suleiman was as an individual and as a leader of the Ottoman Empire. This one is really, really beautiful. Welcome to the next attraction in Istanbul, and no surprise, it's a mosque. This is Seyzade Camii. Truly amazes me about all these mosques is that they're all, hundreds of years old, some of them even 1,000 years old, but they're still so well kept and they're still being used today as functional mosques. People do go there, they still do pray. These are living, breathing buildings, ruins that in other countries you wouldn't see that. I think Istanbul's mosques, I guess that's just one of those places. If you guys cannot tell, we are back at Suleimania Mosque, and the reason is because there's this beautiful area here where you can catch the sunset. So we are just going to chill here and watch the sun slowly set over Istanbul. The view is absolutely perfect. Let me show you guys. With $1 million view like that, I think that's the perfect way to end any 24 hours in Istanbul. I hope this video helps you if you're coming to Istanbul on what to see, how to plan things, because this city has so much to offer. This is only the first 24 hours here in Istanbul, so there will be more coming up. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye guys.